remember the first time I ever got to see this, man. Sitting there in Nan's bedroom, like, just fucking playing this. Just so fascinated every time I got to see something new on this game. And I'd never played a game like that before. Every fucking time something new happened, I was just like completely mesmerised.
When I was watching the 3D video yesterday of Ocarina of Time from that Zelda Master guy, I was fascinated by the updated graphics. Like, it tries to retain that same style, but it's more clear, more clean, more vibrant. And, like, you walk out into Hyrule Field and every little detail you can see, like, the moment, like, from anywhere. You can stand at the entrance to Kokiri Forest looking out on Hyrule Field and you can fucking see Lon Lon Ranch in the distance. You can see Hyrule Market and the castle in the distance. You know, you can see all the way around the valley where all the entrances to Lake Hylia and Gerudo Valley and everything are. You can see all of it. There's no fucking mist blocking any of it. It's so ridiculous how awesome it looks, and yet Nintendo has never bothered to take those textures and apply them to a remake, or a remaster I should say. Just take the fucking 3D game, port it, get rid of the 3D, you know, maybe if you have to change the graphics just a little bit, you know, to meet up with the 720p 1080 requirements, then sure, but you know, just port it. Just port it. It would be a great game for the Switch. You'd sell so many copies.
Yeah,
you know?
Everybody wants that game.
Everybody wants to play like a good version of Ocarina. You know, people still play Ocarina today, and people play the randomizer, and people play ROM hacks, even though Nintendo hates ROM hacks. Speaking of which, I want to give my 2 cents on piracy and ROM hacks, because as somebody who has played ROMs and somebody who has pirated Nintendo games to play them, I definitely understand the concept of copyrights, but at the same time, I also understand that companies do have a monopoly over their properties, whether people want to admit it or not. They own it. It's their copyright, their trademark, whatever. They own it. It's their property. And that's obvious. That's what copyright law is. But what that means is they have the final decision on everything, which means what you feel has no bearing on what they want, right? If you feel that you're being robbed of an opportunity to play a game because it doesn't have a European port or a North American port, Nintendo don't give a fuck. Oh, we don't give a fuck. We're not going to port it to your country. We ain't going to pay for that. Fuck you. So for you, you're just getting robbed of an opportunity to play a great game because Nintendo don't want to fucking pay for the game to be ported. So they're
Ocarina.
Right, yeah, the Ocarina. So there's a lot of games that people pirate from Nintendo specifically because there are no ports for their country. You know, like one of the more popular ones that people talk about is Mother 3, right? Mother 3 being the game it is, people love Mother. People love the Mother games, right? I mean, the names, we call them Earthbound, don't we, in Europe?
Well, we've only got one Earthbound.
They're all supposed to be Earthbound titles, though, aren't they? So
well, yeah, they are.
Yeah, but they're actually called Mother. So Mother 3 was a Japan exclusive. It's a fantastic game, and someone put a lot of effort into making an English translation of that game and sharing it online. And even to this day, Nintendo will not admit that they fucked up by blatantly banning that ROM, because it's like you're robbing people of an opportunity to play a sequel that's so fucking good. It's not like it was a shit game. It's a fucking amazing game. Like, along with the other two Mother games, it's a fantastic game. And yet they robbed the rest of the world, other than Japan, from playing it because they couldn't be bothered to port the fucking thing.
They just think they control everything, man. At the end of the day, like, just go on the internet. This stuff's, like, free. People complain about pirates taking money away from the companies and stuff. It's like, who gives a fuck? You know what I mean? Like, you're not going to pay for a game if you can get it for free.
Yeah, but the problem that comes with that, though, is we have to be somewhat acknowledgeable, or we have to somewhat acknowledge piracy and what the effects it can have, right? at the very least. And my issue has always been that when it comes to multi-million-dollar companies like Sony, Microsoft, and Nintendo complaining about piracy of their games, you have to roll your eyes a little bit, because these are literally multi-million-dollar companies that have so much fucking money already. So much fucking money. And there are always people coming up with excuses for why you shouldn't pirate, right? And I get it. On the surface, it seems like a really terrible thing to do. You're robbing developers of hard-earned money for the games they created. But the issue that you're not paying attention to, and that no one pays attention to, because no one fucking talks about it. Also, we're going... Right, we're going to go get Din's fire. Is that... oh, fuck, I need to... God, I lost my footing in the sentence.
Piracy.
There. Yeah, the issue is that these developers don't have much of a choice, right? They do the work. They get paid by the whatever company is publishing the game or paying them to develop it or whatever. And for them, yeah, they worked hard on it and it's their property. But the money that they get is what the company oversight allows them to receive, right? They get maybe a flat sum, or perhaps they get money, like revenue or whatever. It's all really dependent. But for those AAA companies, most of the money they get from that is literally an afterthought. It's the companies that publish the games that are like, okay, the game sold this well, you get this much money for your work, right? So people use that. They say, you know, if you pirate a game, you're robbing developers of money that they otherwise would have earned. But developers are already getting robbed. Developers get robbed every day of money that they're rightly earned by the publishers that publish their fucking games, because publishers are greedy cunts that have stockholders that always want more money. So you can never get away with it. And also there's the crunch as well, crunch time, which no one ever talks about, or no one barely ever talks about, which is companies overworking their employees, making them work long hours that they don't get paid for to finish games quickly so they can get out for a certain release date. It's like the gaming industry is a fucking horrible place to work for most people. And unfortunately, it just means that when it comes to piracy, the argument you're trying to make about it hurting developers really doesn't mean fuck all, because those developers are already being harmed by the publishers that pay them to make their games. Like, you don't need to fucking do anything to affect that. You know, like, crunch is real, man. Crunch is fucking real, and these people get fired day in, day out from various companies and jobs as soon as they don't toe the fucking line.
I know, but the moral of the story is, like, the major effect of piracy is that I get me a free fucking game.
Yeah, that's a bit selfish.
Google.
That's a bit selfish. I ain't gonna go there. That's not my... It's not my prerogative to be like, haha, fuck you, I didn't pay for this. I'm not that guy. I mean, it wouldn't really fit my name, Humble Gamer, if I fucking, you know, was all egocentric about piracy.
I don't give a fuck, man. Like, at the end of the day, like, boo-hoo, big fucking money company is gonna actually stand there and bitch because a few individuals are harming their royalties.
It's...
Oh, fucking dear. Like, the amount of money that passes through you guys' accounts anyway, yeah, you can't fucking complain. Fuck off.
The two issues that I find come from...
And if you don't want us to steal your fucking ROMs, yeah, then release them. You know what I mean? Because I swear to God, like, there's so many fucking games that you can't get unless you download a ROM. And it's, like, illegal, apparently. It's like... Just fucking release them, man. Like, they're ancient old anyway. It's not like you're making money off them anymore.
I don't think I've seen anyone come up with a very good argument for why you shouldn't pirate games that companies don't even really try to make available to you. Like, I remember having this argument about the NES Classic and the SNES Classic when they came out. I mean, this was a few years back, mind you, but even back then, you know, the argument has always been prevalent. And it came up, you know, during that time, because it was basically like, okay, so you're now making certain games available that weren't available or were really expensive to buy original copies of, right? The issue I have with Nintendo, though, like over Sony and Microsoft, is Nintendo takes the absolute piss because they literally just put games on the virtual store with every new console they make and expect you to buy it again and again and again. Like, by the time you've got to the fucking Nintendo Switch Lite, you've probably bought the game for the 5th time. You know, like, you've bought it on the fucking original console, you've bought it on the Wii, you've bought it on the Wii U.
Really take the piss.
You bought it on the fucking Switch, you bought it on the Switch Lite. It's like, Nintendo really takes the piss, and they charge a lot of money for some of those games as well. I mean, like, I remember, I think, paying a tenner for Ocarina of Time on the Virtual Store on Wii U, right? And it just doesn't seem right to have to pay that much money for a game. Like, and I know it's still cheaper than buying the cartridge, but, like, I don't know, it just feels wrong.
It is proper wrong. Like, I've walked into a fucking game shop before, and I've seen a copy of Super Mario All-Stars been fully packaged and re-released on the Nintendo Wii, being sold for like £25. Basically a tiny little like 3 megabyte ROM that's been just slapped onto a disc with a bit of artwork wrapped around it. There you go, 25 quid.
I like this cutscene.
That is bollocks, man. Yeah, I am just going to go onto fucking Google and I am going to download Super Mario All-Stars. It's going to take me about 30 seconds. I'm not paying £25 for that.
I like this cutscene here. This cutscene's pretty fucking good with the door opening.
Oh yeah, like I was absolutely fucking astonished when I first seen it.
I like the little jingle that plays as well here.
And I couldn't believe it as well the first time I walked back out of the Temple of Time and the whole world was different. Like, I've just never seen anything like this in a game before. Like, at that time, this was a new concept. I mean, you did have a lot of 3D PlayStation games and that sort of thing, but a lot of them are very linear. You're not just dropped into like a open sandbox world and just, you know, you've got to work out your way around it. No, usually they're just like long, narrow paths, and you just go from A to B. There's no like branching pathways to take, nothing. Most of those games are just A to B, always.
Alright, well,
and it just sort of added to the exploration vibe of this, like the excitement of, oh my god, I found a new room. Oh shit, I've never seen this before. Oh, I want to wake up tomorrow and go to school, tell all my mates about this thing that I found.
It's just so weird, this whole room. Like, I love how the sage's symbols are on the platform as well. You don't really pay attention to these little details, but all the sages are on the platform here.
Especially the ceiling that seems to be swirling around quite weirdly.
Yeah, that's just a graphic effect, I think. It's like a weird, like, it's the shading. It doesn't really work well. But yeah, so we've made it. We've made it to the Temple of Time, and I mean, at this point, I'm going to turn into an adult, and I think we'll stop there as an adult and save, and we'll see where we're at. But we got a pretty chunky cutscene here, so let's get ourselves comfy.
Let's get her done, bud.
Boop. All right. Just gonna put the controller down for a moment because this is a pretty chunky cutscene that we've got to go through.
You might have to continue the conversation.
Oh no, look who it is. It's Ganondorf. Gehehe, excellent work. As I thought, you held the keys to the door of time.
Just love it. Love everything about it.
You have led me to the gates of the sacred realm. Yes, I owe it all to you, kid.
Before I'd ever even come up against him, like, he just already looks deadly as hell. I mean, obviously nowadays he's not, because I've kicked his ass that many fucking times. I mean, all the bosses on this are just set patterns. They're doing a thing, so you just respond to that particular thing. You know, Gomer's eye goes red, hit the eye. He's now down, hit him. And it's just, yeah, all the bosses just have their own variation of that. Like, Twin Rover was pretty cool. When you got to charge the shield up with 3 of the same element, and then blast it back in their face to bring them down.
Ah, look, it's Roku. Oh, wait, no, is that his name?
Roru.
Roru, not Roku. Where'd I get Roku from? I am Roru, one of the ancient sages. And also, I have a bit of burping problem. I might be Rick from Rick and Morty. Morty, you gotta shove this up your ass, Morty. You gotta shove it way up your ass, Morty. Shove this medallion up your ass, Link. Shove it right up your ass, right?
People keep saying that the presence of this character indicates that there was once another temple that had been cut.
Ah, right.
Yeah, because it's a sage without a temple.
Yeah.
And it's a bit of a cop-out to just say, yeah, he's the sage of the Temple of Time. But it's not a time medallion, is it? It's a light medallion.
Right. So, like a light temple.
Yeah, a temple of light. And then there was also another one when you go to Ganondorf's castle, and there's an ice room.
Right.
So was there an ice temple? You know, because there's a room for each temple.
Well, the ice...
Forest, fire, water, you know, spirit and shadow. But there's also an ice one as well.
Yeah, but the ice one is for the ice cavern, though.
But
the ice cavern is technically a dungeon because it has a map and compass.
It's not, though.
It has a map and compass, so it
yeah,
counts
but it's
as
not a temple. Like, it doesn't have a medallion.
Well, no, it doesn't, but it counts as a dungeon, though.
Like, this room has an ice medallion. That looks nothing like the water medallion. It's like a complete medallion all of its own, which indicates the presence of an actual ice temple.
It's possible. I
an
don't
ice
know.
temple with an ice sage. Because why else would there be a medallion? Look, like, you know, all these medallions here have a purpose, except for that light one there that he stood on. And then, yeah, it's the only remnant of an ice medallion in the entire game as well, in Ganondorf's castle.
He obtained the Triforce from the Temple of Light. So, yeah, that's the temple he resides over, the Temple of Light. And Ganondorf stole the Triforce from his temple.
Yeah, that's what I mean. But like
he doesn't have a temple in the world of Hyrule. His temple is the Temple of Light, which is a temple in the Sacred Realm.
Yeah.
Which means you would never see that temple.
There's a whole thing about it. There's like a whole fucking video with all this other information that I obviously haven't put across, even like close to properly. Yeah, but like, yeah, there's a few indications that there were at least 2 more temples that have been cut. Like this game's like definitely shorter than it originally was intended to be. Love the actual character model of Adult Link as well. Like, the game plays so much better as Adult Link. Even with that stupid earring.
I'd love to have all of the medallions too. You received a light medallion.
There was someone making them at one point. I think it's like on Etsy or something like that.
Find the other sages and save Hyrule. Alright, well, that job don't belong to me, buddy boy. It belongs to my brother. It's his honour to save Hyrule now. I've done my duty.
I've been saving Hyrule for the last 22 years.
Well, you can save it one last time on video.
I've saved it on the N64, on the GameCube, on the 3DS. I've saved all of them.
Yeah, there's still a bit of cutscene left here, of course. Link, we're back in the Temple of Time. But have 7 years really passed?
Well,
it looks like you won't be able to use some of the weapons you found as a kid anymore. Let's get out of here. That line feels really, like, blatantly off. She's just like, oh, hey, has it really been 7 years? Have we really been, like, stuck in time for 7 years? Oh, you can't use some of the stuff that you found as a kid, by the way. Oh, let's get out of here. It's like, whoa, what the fuck? What a weird fucking dialogue change.
Just sort of moving the story along.
Yeah. And here we get to meet Sheik, also known as Zelda in disguise, because nobody knew that back in the day when it first came out. Nobody expected Sheik to be Zelda in disguise.
I didn't.
It turned out to be a really cool little thing, though, because, you know, you get this little element of what Sheik is. You know, the few times you get to meet him and talk to him. He's a warrior, very sneaky, has taken on with the Sheikah, obviously wearing the Sheikah symbol, taken up with them, probably protected by them. But then when you find out it's Zelda the whole time, it's like, wow,
that is one
Zelda
of the
has been
best
surviving
scenes in the game as well. Like when you come back to the temple, and she gives you the light arrows, and then reveals who she really is.
Yeah.
And then you hear Ganondorf laugh, and then traps her in that crystal, and she floats up. That's one of the most memorable bits. Probably that, yeah. And when you walk into the room, you know, when Ganondorf's playing
the organ, yeah.
Yeah, the organ, that's fucking...
That's so fucking, like, cool that, like, the whole dungeon, the whole castle, you hear the music, like, and then you get your way up to the top and you find out he's been playing the organ the whole time.
That is a cool level, Ganondorf's castle.
Yeah, well, that's the end.
Going up and going down as well, like, that is really cool.
As I see you standing there holding the mythical Master Sword, you really do look like the legendary hero of time. If you believe the legend, you have no choice. You must look for the 5 temples and awaken the 5 sages. It shall be done, Sheik. It shall be done. One sage is waiting for the time of awakening in the forest temple. The sage is a girl, I am sure you know. Because of the evil power in the temple, she cannot hear the awakening call from the sacred realm. Unfortunately, equipped as you currently are, you cannot even enter the temple. But if you believe what I'm saying, you should head to Kakariko village. Do you understand, Link?
Yeah.
Oh, I understand, alright. I also understand it's about time to save this game, and then pause and check what time we're at. Let's see how long it's taken me to get from going from the beginning of Kokiri Forest all the way to Zora's Domain through Jabba Jabba's belly.
Probably like 9.5 years.
1 hour and 12 minutes. Not terrible. Not great, but not terrible.
I need a piss.
All right. Well, anyway, I'm gonna we'll do a little ending here. That's all good. We're done. We'll record another session in a little while. I'll be passing the controller to my brother, but yeah, that's that for this one. We're recording these weirdly, unlike Banjo-Tooie, where we recorded for 3-4 hours at once. We're just recording for a little bit at a time this time. But yeah. Oh well, that's it. See you guys next time. Bye bye.
Bye bye.